I am black but comely, O ye daughters of Jerusalem, as the tents of Kedar, as the curtains of Solomon.
Check out my Hebrew drip, my Hebrew drip. You know I'm Hebrew fresh with my Hebrew chick, and you do not want tests. I got my Hebrew click. I know you can't understand, and I'm on some Hebrew shit. Check out my Hebrew drip, my Hebrew drip. Check out my Hebrew drip, my Hebrew drip. You know I'm Hebrew fresh with my Hebrew click. I know you can't understand, and I'm on some Hebrew shit. Check out my Hebrew drip. Clothes with a garment down to the foot. Lil' mama came back and took another look. Them fringes and them studs probably got her shook. But all I could tell her, I am not a crook. Whole team winning. Can't do it by myself, I brought my whole team with me. Tonight I need some help, I plan on killing these niggas. And I ain't talking murder, shorty feeling these niggas. I know she probably heard of us, One West, all of New York since 1969. Looking for an Israelite woman that I can get behind. Take her to the promised land. Show her good niggas exist. Fuck what her mama saying. You understand? Listen. Fourth dimension blue is my cologne. All I did was say shalom and she offered me a phone number. Especially when I'm in the zone, I tell fire to the moon. Girl, you playing with the wrong. Check out my Hebrew drip, my Hebrew drip. You know I'm Hebrew fresh with my Hebrew chick, and you do not want tests. I got my Hebrew click. I know you can't understand, and I'm on some Hebrew shit. Check out my Hebrew drip, my Hebrew drip. Check out my Hebrew drip, my Hebrew drip. You know I'm Hebrew fresh with my Hebrew click. I know you can't understand, and I'm on some Hebrew shit. Check out my Hebrew drip. And you ain't never seen nothing like it with a drip so hard. Hit her straight, she was thinking, cause a nigga cold as ice and sharper than a knife. I could change your whole life just by making you my white man. Look, that nigga got the boots, beard sprays, man. Look, that nigga got the garment with the shades, man. Look, that nigga got the spikes on his armband, and he got the Still of David on his charm, man. No, I'm not lucky, I'm blessed. Yes, my lady in the dress, we get fresh. I'm making their ass sweat with all this masculinity. I can tell you feeling my swag on infinity. And this ain't something you can buy. They asking who am I? I traded in my super tie. And I just got a garment from the captain. Catch me in the club smelling like black. Check out my Hebrew drip, my Hebrew drip. You know I'm Hebrew fresh with my Hebrew chick, and you do not want tests. I got my Hebrew click. I know you can't understand it. I'm on some Hebrew shit. Check out my Hebrew drip, my Hebrew drip. Check out my Hebrew drip, my Hebrew drip. You know I'm Hebrew fresh with my Hebrew click. I know you can't understand it. I'm on some Hebrew shit. Check out my Hebrew drip.
Thy cheeks are comely with rows of jewels, thy neck with chains of gold. We will make thee borders of gold and studs of silver. Hebrew drip.
All right, listen. Yeah. Hey, Cat. What's wrong with these niggas, man? First off, no need to go back and forth with the scriptures, cause every time you niggas talk, y'all just proving you wicked. Really? See, the UPK name was mentioned by some Israelite group who called a leader a bishop. Really? And what I'm stating is all facts. You lost that. UPK, that's them hard cats. Cross that, said the shield of David was Molech. Stop that. Hope you told Esau that when you got your cop badge. Hypocrites, that's that shit we don't like. Fraud niggas, that's that shit we don't like. Come on, man. You Tom Clancy niggas cause division. Bunch of wicked ass niggas in your spirit bear witness. That's what's wrong with you boys. Let a man check you. Foot on their neck, applying all his damn pressure. No regard for the black lives the Klan gathered. That's the shows how you feel about your ancestors. If you really in these streets, where your teachings at? If you really men of war, where your Mitri at? Brotherhood and loyalty, is you teaching that? Pharisees and heresies, you teaching that? When it comes to a check, you niggas turn into Judas. How you speak against the beast, then go join with they movement? You can't lock a brother up cause he don't know what the truth is. Talking about building a nation, you helping us lose it. See, now y'all niggas see why we don't link up with no squad. The more you niggas teach is the reason you show why. The day you left us was the day that your soul died. The Lord named Yahweh, why you calling him Anya? It ain't come from the prophets, then you know that it's all lies. The general held on, nigga, he never jumped side. And y'all see everything we do for the 12 tribes. We see the shit you niggas do when doves cry. Y'all hate it, right? Now y'all copy our style. Shit, we heard about your video, seen in the smile. Now it's time to set the record straight. We coming for Nate, dog. Let's regulate. Motherfucker, we hit him up. Why you suckers is fellowshipping? Fucking Christians, why would you ever consider dissing? Nigga, listen, you'll never last in our division. That UPK warhead launch is never missing. Officer down, I'ma start to offer you clowns. How you talking tough in your church offering down? Y'all just a cheap imitation. These niggas hating. Wanna be us so bad as humiliating. Making diss tracks using direct statements. IUICPD on location. Lying to their faces. Lying in your convo. Putting cases on everybody. Nigga like Alonzo. UPK the big dog. Rest of y'all just pups. We about to separate purebred from mutts. Y'all days is up. Y'all gay as fuck. You say you got the truth. The truth is you suck. Y'all should stick the line cause rapping ain't where you wanna go. You took your shot, got blocked, not today like Matumbo. Oh, they can't with Columbo. UPK do jumbo. Can't beat us with the scriptures. Rapping not in the rumble. Y'all second class, y'all wouldn't last in the jungle. You dealing with the predators, wearing purple irregular. IUIC so peeved, they irrelevant. Your track so corny, I'm doing this for the hell of it. Just to be clear, I don't give a fuck like I'm celibate. Got your bitches saying GP, y'all so delicate. Then you try to pick up a mic, that ain't intelligent. If you talking numbers, you ain't fucking with us they either. Cause every one of ours were 3 or 4 of you evils. You hard as Justin Bieber, we hot as a fucking fever. You should join the Trooper program, you starving for a leader. UPK will make y'all men. We do a lot of charity, so we'll take y'all in. Show you how to be a soldier and to keep them hoes in their place. But to be honest, I'd rather punch them dead in their face. Kinda curious what color red and purple make now. Is that your camp or your girl camp? You stepping in the ring with the world champs. None of them punches was even landing. IUIC get slapped open-handed. Whole squad must be gay to follow a faggot. When we saw your weakness, know we had to attack it. Cross that line, now you suckers gon' learn a lesson. I ain't thinking from the pussies and purple dresses, purple blouses. I know them bitches running in your houses. I see you worship women, I know who wearing the trousers. Really, I prefer that we take it straight to the warfare. What we doing here? Folding like a lawn chair. It's the wrong year. Letting y'all get the point clear. So why too soft to beef with true bosses? You can thank the general sending you all these losses. Then you go to Ghana, so far from Americana, so you can get them little boys naked in their cabana. I see what Purple Rain and Bambada they got common. They ever touch my kids, I'ma bury them, never find them. Next time, better watch your mouth and watch your rhyming. Never mention general, direct or subliminal. You gon' need more than them cops to come defending you. Better get the FBI, the military, GMS on PMS, the right city, the whole this community come together and you need. Still won't be nothing between the you and me. Now, is we finished or we done? One West where I'm from, when you see us better run. I ain't put my all in this verse, I'm having fun. But make it even worse for you cowards, it just begun. Fuck it, I can do this shit forever. Purple started raining, I'm coming with an umbrella. I'm going with a vendetta, we go to war like whatever. IUIC in the ICU.
Shit is cool for a week, but when you meet, you find out she for the streets. She gon' bust it for the cheek. She for the streets, leave that hoe for the streets. Don't pay for pussy cause it's weak. No, you can't come with me, you belong in the streets. She fuck with you, and she try to fuck with me.
Man, y'all know these hoes for the streets, man. Y'all better leave them alone. Let me tell you niggas by the whole mind. She was cool at first, but then the hoe done lost her whole mind. She was coming over cooking, had a nigga eating right. Cooking chicken in the oven, boiling up some jasmine rice. By the time I would find that this hoe is always lying. And when you catch her analyze, the bitch resort to crime. Realize she for the streets, it ain't take me much time. Had a nigga calling me, blowing up my fucking line. It was over before it started, this bitch was acting retarded. Telling me it's just a brother, yeah, as if I bought it. Better be cautious, these hoes is up for auction. You taking home a woman that gave a box at the office, and it's gonna be a movie the way she party with sauces. If you think that hope for you, then you have really lost it. Sorry, I'm being honest, the truth will come out regardless. So let this be a reminder that some of these bitches garbage. Shit was cool for a week, but when you meet, you find out she for the streets. She gon' bust it for the teeth. She for the streets, leave that hoe for the streets. Don't pay for pussy cause it's weak. No, you can't come with me, you belong in the streets. You covered then she let another nigga beat. Nigga, I told you that these hoes for the streets.
$40 is $40 is $40. Say it 3 times, bet she show up, get that pussy poppin'. She'll put you in the friend zone. I think she done let 100 niggas run 100 yards through her end zone. I wore hand-me-down clothes, never hand-me-down hoes, so I refuse to let you hand-me-down those. Yeah, she wanna sip, I suppose, give her bread a whole loaf and buy a ring and propose the third one. Your open nose, she better got on some clothes and fucking all of your bros and busting it when you gone. Yeah, man, that hoe gonna be a hoe like JT said in that song. Might as well let her go, yeah. I mean, why she bad and how she is a snack, a woman with class, but she wash her face with her ass rag. Real ass bitch, give a fuck by the nigga, and none of you hoes can get a fuck out of nigga, yeah.
Shit was cool for a week, but when you meet, you find out she for the streets. She gon' bust it for the teeth. She for the streets, leave that hoe for the streets. Don't pay for pussy cause it's weak. No, you can't come with me, you belong in the streets. You covered then she let another nigga beat. Nigga, I told you that these hoes for the streets.
I met the bitch outside of my complex. Bitch so fine, like she running for a contest. Ass so nice, yo, I'm thinking I should wipe that. Have a couple kids, settle down, yeah, I like that. But the bitch capping and acting like a straight brat. Never wanna settle down or let a nigga wipe her. Rather hit the club, shake their ass and get tossed up. Bitch straight nasty, no class sassy. Alley cat black foot, bitch get the backseat. Nothing but a gold digger. Never should've fucked with her. Now she at the club straight sleep cause she hungover. Bitches ain't shit. Goddamn, what's wrong with them? Just a waste some time. Stupid bitches always lying. Always fucking for a dime. Keep my money on my mind. Never trust no bitch. Cause a bitch will be your bitch. And a bitch gon' switch and suck another nigga bitch. Real nigga.
Many hoes for the streets. Many hoes for the streets. Yeah, these hoes for the streets. I said these hoes for the streets. Many hoes for the streets. Many hoes for the streets. Yeah, these hoes for the streets. I said these hoes for the streets. Shit was cool for a week, but when you meet, you find out she for the streets. She gon' bust it for the teeth. She for the streets. Leave that hoe for the streets. Don't pay for pussy cause it's weak. No, you can't come with me, you belong in the streets. You covered then she let another nigga beat. Man, I told you that these hoes for the streets. Shit was cool for a week, but when you meet, you find out she for the streets. She gon' bust it for the teeth. She for the streets, leave that hoe for the streets. Many hoes for the streets. Many hoes for the streets. Yeah, these hoes for the streets. Hoes for the streets.
Shalom. Yahweh Shem Yahushua Baruch Thumb to the brothers. Yahweh Shem All Thumb by Shem Yahushua to the sisters. Isupk, Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohana. Not affiliated with any other Hebrew Israelite groups, okay? We've been teaching Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians that they are the Most High God's chosen people since 1969, okay? And along with being God's chosen people, you get laws, you get rules, regulations, okay? You get a culture, a way of living. You get restrictions, okay? The Lord, what you can and cannot do according to your power, okay? According to the Most High power, for you be his chosen people, there's something you must and you can and cannot do. There's a covenant, basically. Okay. And, you know, we teach that. We've been teaching that. We're going to continue to teach that to our people until Yahushua returns. Okay. And put Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people back on top. Make us the leading or first class people on the earth. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Lost 12 tribes, okay? So with that, if you got any questions, you can go ahead and drop them in the chat or jump in live with me, okay? Let's see. Okay, we got Crystal Morris in the class. Shalom, sis. Shaya Ra, shalom, sis. Cult Princess, shalom. Okay. It's good to have y'all in the class with us. As usual, you know, we have a select few that are dedicated and always in the class and ready to change their life, okay, and show the Most High power, our God, that they are, you know, good servants. And that's a wonderful thing, okay? So I want to, tonight, I'm gonna go ahead and show, according to the Bible, that, you know, sisters should submit themselves to their husbands. And I know it's hard, you know what I mean? This society has taught Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian women that they don't have to submit themselves to their husbands. They don't need a husband. You know what I mean? Like, nobody else says that in the earth. No other, you know, culture of women say they don't need a man. You know what I mean? Well, how are you going to create children? How are you going to have a family if you don't need a man? You know, I guess you want to cut the lawn every week. You want to be the one, you know what I mean, to protect the house if somebody's trying to come in. Women, our God created men and women for a reason. Okay, He created man with testosterone, and He created women with estrogen. Okay, so men are supposed to be strong, and women are supposed to be, you know, soft and sweet and wonderful. That's the way our God created it. Two women can't be together. Two men can't be together. That's not how God created the earth. Okay, so I just wanted to bring out some scriptures because we were kind of getting into that last night in the brotherhood class of the fellowship. Okay, so I just wanted to continue on that and, you know, just show our sisters, you know, how they're supposed to be in the earth. Show Black women how they are. I know it's rough. I know it's hard to, you know what I mean, let this man tell you what to do, because listen, you know, like, our brothers are messed up too. There's no doubt about it. Black men are, you know what I mean, jammed up. And like Officer Shab said last night, you know, if they're jammed up, guess what? Now the Black woman jammed up. But right here in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, we are raising men. Okay, men that know how to lead a house, know how to protect a woman, know how to treat her, know how to, you know, protect the family, know how to raise children, know how to serve. And it all starts with being able to serve your God. If you know how to serve the nigga God, then you are definitely going to know how to, you know, lead your house, okay? Because He created you. He gave you all the tools to be able to do that with these scriptures, okay? With the laws that He gave you. He gave you everything you need to be able to, you know, run your house. Okay, with that, let's go ahead and see if we can get one, the first scripture, how to, how we should run our house. Okay. Let's see, I just okay, let's go to Joshua chapter 24 and verse 15. Okay. We need to know how to run our houses. Okay, that's why we are in the condition that we're in. We don't even know how to run our house, much less, you know what I'm saying, know how to run a nation. Okay, we got to be able to know how to run our house. How is the house supposed to, function between a man and a woman? Okay, and children. Okay, we got to know how to run our house. And it's listen, we're gonna be jammed up until we figure this thing out. And thanks to the Most High in Christ, you know what I mean, we figured it out in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. All you got to do is come and learn. Okay, come and learn how to be civilized people. The Most High gave us a civilization, okay, to teach us how to be in the earth, okay, how to run your house. Okay, and we're going to read about it in the Bible, okay? The Bible is our gauge on how to be a family, how to be a woman, how to be a man in the earth. Okay? And our God gave us a way how to run your house. Okay? If you trying to run your house according to how Esau is teaching you and telling you, you know what I mean, you don't need a man, your house, you're going to be jammed up. Okay? You're going to be in trouble. So what if the brother don't make as much money as you? Like I said, you know what I mean? You should, you know what I mean, love, you know what I mean? You lay down with the brother, you know what I mean? It's not about, you know what I mean, money. The whole earth is not about money, and it's about a family and serving your God, okay, and being, you know what I mean, happy. You can't be happy if you would, you know what I mean, if you're living against the way God laid it out for us to live, okay? That's where true happiness is found, between a man and a woman. And like I said earlier, I know it's rough out here because our brothers are jammed up, just like the sisters are jammed up. You know what I mean? We on drugs. We've been taught, we've been raised in the earth to think, you know what I mean, you can just have a boyfriend or a girlfriend. You can break up whenever you want to. That's not true, okay? You're never gonna, you know what I mean, establish a nation in this earth if that's how you live it, okay? So let's read about how to run your house, how a house is supposed to be, because our power, our God, Yahweh, laid it out for us, okay? So let's go to the book of Joshua, chapter 24, okay? 24 and verse 15. Okay. So let's read it. The book of Joshua, chapter 24 and verse 15. And if it seems evil unto you to serve the Most High, your power, okay? And listen, if you're not, okay, if you're not living, if you're not, having a house with a man and a woman and children, then, it's evil to you to serve your God. If a woman is not being submissive to her husband, it's evil to her to serve her God. Okay, if she's trying to usurp authority over her man, it's evil to her to serve her God. Okay, and we have to start, wanting to please our God. You have to want to please your God. Okay, don't walk through this earth and think there is no God. God don't exist. Or, like a lot of people, when they have something in their mind and the way they want to do something, or the way, if they desire something, they'll talk themselves into, thinking that it's right. God wouldn't want me to have this, or God wouldn't, want me to be sad, or God wouldn't want me to, go through this or go through that. When life is not all happiness, life is not 24/7 happiness. You sometimes you're going to argue with your husband. Okay. Sometimes you're going to disagree. Sometimes you may not get it your way, but you should not, leave your husband. If you leave your husband and go and be with another man, it's evil to you to serve your God, because that's not how your God set the earth up to be. That's not how he set up a family to be. Okay? So we have to come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments. These laws are going to teach us how to live in the earth, how to be a family. Okay? It's going to teach a woman how to deal with her husband. It's going to teach a husband how to deal with his wife. Okay? It's going to teach parents how to deal with their children. Okay? We can't go off of how this society, tell us how we should be. We should be going off of how our God tells us to be. Okay? And that's why we push these classes. That's why we come out and teach Black people that the laws are not done away with, because you follow these laws and, your life is going to be better. Okay. So right here, Joshua chapter 24 and verse 15. And if it seems evil unto you to serve the Most High, your God, Lord, choose you this day whom you will serve. Okay. So now the decision is yours. Are you going to serve, the Esau and what he say? What does he say? He says homosexuality is a alternative lifestyle. Okay. He's been pushing for so long the agenda for Black women to kick their husband out of the house. When white women, the Caucasian race does not do that. The Chinese race does not do that. Okay, all these other families in the earth, they don't, push their husbands out of the house. They know they need a husband. Now, okay, listen, we know, our brothers are jammed up, but why don't you, if you believe in the Most High, why don't you try to, you know what I mean, help that brother? You know what I mean? If you are, you know what I mean, have more understanding than him and how to live in the earth, well, you should be trying to, you know, show him the right way. You know what I mean? Not in a way where you try to tell him what he should and should not do, but, you know, in a submissive way. You know what I mean? You got to be, you know, feminine about it. You got to play your role in this earth, play your role in that household. Okay. Now, if it's like it, and if it seems evil unto you to serve your God, choose you this day who you will serve, whether the gods which your fathers served that were on the other side of the flood. So that's saying on your gods that you served on the other side of the flood. Before we came out of Egypt, before we came out of that captivity, we were serving other gods, okay? Just like we do today. We just served, if you celebrated Valentine's Day, you just served another god, okay? If you celebrate birthdays, you are serving another god, okay? Anything that you do, you know what I mean, in this earth as Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people that is not according to these scriptures, you're serving another god. Okay. And right here it's saying, you know what I mean, you're gonna have to choose who you're gonna serve. You're gonna serve, you know what I mean, this society and just try to, you know, be about the money, get the bag, you know what I'm saying, and, you know, floss on your brothers and your sisters, or you're gonna have brotherhood and keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. Okay. So it says right here, choose you this day whom you will serve, whether the gods which your fathers served that were on the other side of the flood. Like when we came out of that captivity, Moses broke it down. You know what I'm saying? This is what we should do. This is how we should live. Okay, that was the beginning of the Black culture, us being, you know, on top of the earth again. Okay. And only way we were going to be able to do that was by following the law, statutes, and commandments that Moses laid out for us. Okay. That happened after the flood. Okay. We were supposed to stop after that flood in Egypt, where the Most High, you know, killed the Egyptians. We were supposed to, you know, start serving him again and keeping his law, statutes, and commandments and have a society according to the way he laid things out in the earth. Okay. Or the gods of the Amorites. Okay. Who you going to serve? You know, the heathens, or you're going to serve the Most High power in whose land ye dwell. Just like today, we dwell in a land that is, you know what I mean, governed by another nation of people. So we are starting to assimilate ourselves with their laws instead of staying separate. Instead of separating ourselves from what they do and keeping the laws of, you know what I mean, our power. Okay. And here it says, but as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. And that's how Blacks, Hispanics, and Native, that's the decision that we should be making today. Okay. In the earth, 2023, we should be making a conscious decision as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to serve our God, to live according to the ways he set for us. Okay. It's 2023. Everybody knows by now. Not everybody. I'm not going to say that, but you know, it's in the earth now that as far as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are concerned, we have laws to keep according to our God. Okay. Some of our people don't want to accept it, but just because you don't want to accept it doesn't mean it's not, you know, true. Doesn't mean it's not real. Okay. There is a Black God for Hispanics, Native Indians, and Negroes, okay? We have a God, and it's not the white Jesus. It's not this society or this culture. Our power requires certain things from us. And if you don't know what they are, that's what the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge is for. To teach you how to serve your God, to teach you what your power expects from you as a human being in this family. As a Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, your God requires certain things of you, okay? There's a certain way that you must behave in the earth. And if you don't do it, then, there's gonna be a judgment for it, okay? You wonder why we jammed up. You look around at Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian people, and you wonder why they jammed up. It's because we're not living according to how our God laid this thing out for us to live, okay? It like I said before, you can't get away from these laws. You know what I'm saying? You either keep them or you don't. You keep them and, you know what I mean, you're on top of the earth. You rule the earth. You don't keep them, then you're on the bottom. Okay, we just like we was reading about this flood, we came out of that captivity as a family of people, and we went into this current captivity as a family of people. Okay, there's Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians that keep the law, but we still had to go into captivity for the most part, because for the most part our people was not keeping these laws, okay? And it's the same thing today. That's why you have this school established since 1969 to teach Black people how to come back and serve their power, okay? So we have to choose. We have to make a conscious decision if, we're going to serve our God and how we're going to serve him, okay? And it falls on brothers and sisters, okay, not just the men. Okay, it falls on brothers and sisters. Okay, we all have to keep these laws, okay, according to how our God created this society and, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to live in the earth. Okay. So we can drop that okay precept about how you should, how your house should be in 2023. We should be keeping the laws, statutes, commandments of our God. Okay. So we're gonna drop that one. Let's go to the book of Esther. Okay. We'll go to chapter 1 and verse 22. Okay. Let's go to the book of Esther, chapter 1 and verse 22. And I'm just trying to show our sisters for the most part, but also I'm talking to the brothers, how you're supposed to run your house, how we're supposed to treat each other as, Black, Hispanic, Native Indian men and women. Okay, there's a way we're supposed to be in this earth. Okay, there's a way we're supposed to, treat one another. And it's according to the law, statutes, and commandments that our God gave us. Okay, he gave us the tools that we need to love one another. He gave us the tools that we need to be a healthy family in this earth. And it's only found right here in these scriptures, okay, in the Bible, okay? You follow these scriptures, you live according to the law, statutes, and commandments, and we will be the ruling class in the earth again. Okay, we'll have healthy households. Okay, we'll know how to treat one another. Okay, men, our brothers need to know how to treat our sisters, as well as our sisters need to know how to treat our brothers. Okay, it's not all about the money, it's not all about the bag, it's about love, you know, between a man and a woman. Okay, and that's where we're at today. Okay, 2023. Okay, so let's go to the book of Esther, chapter 1 and verse 22. Okay, so let's read about it. Okay, it's the book of Esther, chapter 1 and verse 22. For he sent letters into all the king. Okay, you know what? Let's go over to, let's drop down to verse 17. Okay, we're going to start in verse 17. Let's start at verse 16. Salakia. Okay, we'll start at verse 16. Esther chapter 1 and verse 16. Okay, so this is, we're going to read about a sister that did not know how to submit herself to her husband. Didn't know how to be, you know, a good wife. Okay. So Esther chapter 1 and verse 16. And Salakia, and Makan answered before the king and the princess, Vesta, the queen, have not done wrong to the king only, but also to all the princes and to all the people that were in the provinces of the king Ahasuerus. Okay, this is okay. So this sister, or not this, but this wife, okay, she didn't listen to her husband. Okay, and her husband was the king. Okay, and she did this thing in front of everybody, the princess, everybody. Okay, and she did something. She was out of line with her husband. And then, you know, they said, listen, this woman didn't only do bad to the king, but she did bad to every other man, because now she's, you know, she's supposedly the queen. And it's almost like how they got the earth today. You got Beyonce, and you got, you know, all these sisters out here that are making songs and stuff saying they don't need a man or leave your man and all this, that, and the third. They're not just doing bad to, you know, one person. They're doing that to everybody. Everybody who looks up to her and see what she's doing, the sisters are going to follow her because she's the queen right here in this book. She's the queen, and she was out of line with her husband. So now all the other sisters that see that she's out of line, they're going to be like, you know what? We should do that. We should be out of line with our husbands. Okay. And that's how, listen, also it can go all the way down to, if you are a mother and you are out of line with your husband and your daughters see it, and other sisters, little young sisters see it, they're going to grow up to do the same thing. They're going to think that that's how they're supposed to be. That's what they should do. And that's why it's been so many generations of our sisters out of order, because little sisters see, you know, their moms and their aunties and their grandmamas doing it. So they grow up to do it. And right here it's saying, listen, Vastis, the queen, have not done wrong to the king only, but also to all the princes, to all the people that are in the province of the king Ahasuerus. Okay, so basically, if everybody who's seeing this woman out of line, all the other women gonna try to follow it. Okay, they gonna come to their house, because she out of line in the castle. Okay, she out of line. So all the other women that are under her, they're gonna be like, you know what? That's how we should be. Okay, verse 17. For this deed of the queen shall come abroad unto all women. They all gonna see it, and they're gonna be like, well, shit. If she a diva and she can treat her man like that, they gonna do the same thing. And that's what we're teaching our little sisters. When wives are out of line today, when Black, Hispanic, or Native women are out of line today, and their children see it, that's exactly what they're gonna do. They're gonna do the same thing. So you're not only doing wrong to your husband, you're doing wrong to every other man that's going to come up after you, after your husband, after the generations after you. You're wronging them by showing the young sisters how they should be out of order, and they shouldn't be out of order. Okay, so that they shall despise their husbands in their eyes. Okay, that's what you're teaching little sisters. If you are not, you know what I mean, being humble and, you know what I mean, a righteous woman in your house, you're teaching the little sisters that are coming up under you to be just like you. And that's wrong, okay? You teaching them wrong. You're teaching her to despise her husband before she can even grow up to get one. Okay, we have to learn. Okay, look, sisters, y'all got to learn to do better, okay? Just like the brothers do also. I got you, but it has to start, you know, with yourself. You got to look in the mirror, okay? And I'm reading scriptures right now that's, you know, showing you and trying to help you. You got to, you know, change the way you are. If you're like this, if you're not, then fine, okay? Keep these laws. Be humble to your husband, okay? Okay, when it shall be reported, the king Ahasuerus commanded Vesta the queen to be brought in before him, but she came not. Okay, he told her to do something, and it wasn't even a hard thing. She was just trying to be a diva, like what they teach our sisters today. Okay, she's just out of order. Okay, and that's what they taught our Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian women in the earth today, to be out of order. Okay, verse 18. Likewise shall the ladies of Persia and Media say this day unto all the king's princes, which have heard of the deed of the queen. Thus shall there arise too much contempt and wrath. See, there it is right there. Now there's going to be contempt and wrath in your household because you want to be a diva, because you want to listen to Esau today in this society and say you don't need a man, or y'all should be equal. You know what I'm saying? And there's no equal, okay? Just because the man may not, you know what I mean, make as much money as you, don't mean y'all equal, okay? The Lord raised up Adam first and then Eve, okay? He saw that Adam needed a helpmeet. So Eve was supposed to help him, not rule over him, okay? And that's the same way in this households today. You're not supposed to rule over your husband. You're supposed to help him, okay? Raise his children, raise this family. In 2023, help him raise this nation up, okay? Help us get out of this dust, this situation we in, okay? Verse 19, and if it please the king, let there go a royal commandment from him, and let it be written among the laws of the Persians and the Medes, that it be not altered, that Vesta come no more before the king Ahasuerus, and let the king give her royal estate unto another that is better than she. And when the king decree which he shall make shall be published throughout all the empire, for it is great, all the wives shall give to their husbands honor, both to great and small. Okay, and that's what I've been saying, because like you should honor your husband, whether he, you know what I mean, is great or small, whether he is a Fortune 500 company owner, or whether if he works at McDonald's. You made the choice to be with him. You know what I mean? Those words he put in your ear, you the one who, it sounded good to you, right? Well, listen, now you have to give honor to your husband. Okay? Don't, you know what I mean, all of a sudden now look at him like he's less than he was when you first got with him. Okay? Honor your husband, whether he be great or small. Okay? And that's what, you know, we should be doing. That's what we need you sisters to, you know, start doing. Honor your husband, okay? Whether he's got, you know, 7 figures or whether he's got, you know, 7 figures. I mean, you know, not 7 figures, 2 figures, whatever, you know. Honor that brother. Don't be like besties and, you know what I mean, be out of order, because what you're doing is teaching young brothers and sisters to be out of order. And you know what I mean? And now we have this generational curse that is happening to us because nobody wants to, you know, start to behave the way our power intended us to behave, okay? And it's all about loving each other, okay? That's what these scriptures are about, okay? Verse 21. And the saying pleased the king and the princes. And the king did according to the word which Mernachan, okay, the word of Mernachan. For he sent letters into all the king's provinces, into every province according to the writing thereof, and to every people after their language, that every man should bear rule in his own house, and that it should be published according to the language of every people. So that's what we're doing today in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. We got brothers that speak, you know, so-called Creole. We got, you know what I mean, brothers that speak Patois, brothers that speak the Spanish language, okay? And we are teaching all our brothers and sisters that they should rule their household. And they can't rule their house with an unruly wife, okay? She has to be in order. She has to be in line, okay? And that's how, you know, the earth should be, according to the laws, according to our laws, our statutes, our commandments, our culture, okay? Women are supposed to be, you know what I mean, under their husbands, okay? And that's according to how our God laid things out, okay? It starts in the house, okay? Okay, it starts in the house, okay? We have to learn how to run. We have to learn. We got to be taught again how to have a, you know, we have to be taught again how to have a civilized home, okay? Because our households today are anything but, okay? Okay, so now let's go to the book of 1 Timothy, okay? Chapter 2 and verse 11. Right. Officer Isupk he just said accountability on both ends. Right. You know, like I said, it's not, we, you know, for the most part, you see these brothers in this school, we trying to raise up men. We go out in the streets. We have, you know, Hebrew Academy. We doing all types of things to try to raise strong, you know what I mean, righteous men in the earth. But at the same time, you can't have strong, righteous men and, you know, out of order women. Okay. Our women, our sisters have to be, you know what I mean, righteous sisters. Sisters that, you know, like I just read in the book of Joshua, willing to love their God. If you think that, you know, you have to have, you know, the say so over your husband, then it seems evil to you to serve your God. You want to serve something else. You want to serve this society. You want to serve, you know, money. You want to serve, you know what I mean, whatever it is that is in your heart, when you should want to serve your power. And your power has set up a culture for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians and how they should live. He created Adam and then, you know what I mean, raised Eve up. So, you know, Eve is supposed to be Adam's helpmeet. And it's the same thing today. And it's just like what I read, okay, over in the book of Esther, okay? The sisters are supposed to love their husbands, okay? So let's read it right here in the book of 1 Timothy, okay, chapter 2 and verse 11. Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection, okay? That's how, you know, that's a humble woman. It's right here in the Bible. This is the New Testament too, okay? Telling Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian women they should be submissive, okay? That's how you learn with all subjection, okay? You subject yourself to your husband. And listen, I know that, you know, brothers are jammed up out here. But if you don't have a husband, you better get one that's in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. And if you do already have a husband, he's in the world, well, you know what I mean? Bring him into the truth with, you know, with, you know, your, you know, being under, you know, learning with all, you know, subjection, you know, not trying to rule over him. But if you know these laws, statutes, and commandments, and he don't, well, then you should bring him into the truth with, you know, your chaste conversation. Okay, be, you know, sweet and wonderful. Listen, baby, you know, I think you should try this or this, that, you know, why don't you give the brother a call? You know what I mean? You can't be trying to rule over your husband. Okay. It's not going to work. And if it does work, then you don't have a strong man in your household. Okay. Okay. He's supposed to be, you know what I mean? He's supposed to be the head of the house. Okay. So if he's not that, you need to, you know what I mean, get that brother into this school and, you know, and we can help him out. Okay. So first, the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 2, verse 11. Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. Okay? That's it, man. Like, just listen to, like, even if the brother off, you know what I mean? Just listen. You know what I mean? Listen to him. Don't, you know what I mean, be going all crazy. And, you know, okay, listen, all right, I'm going to let you talk. Let him say what he got to say. You know what I mean? Then when he's done talking, then you can give your, you know what I mean, your suggestion or whatever. But you're not supposed to, right here in the Bible, okay, this book is teaching Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians how to live in the earth, okay? And it's telling you right here as a woman, you are not to usurp authority over a man. Okay? He's your husband. That's not how, you know what I mean, the Lord made the earth to run. It's not the culture that he gave his chosen people, okay? If you are trying to usurp authority over your man, then it seems evil to you to serve your God, okay? And that's just what it is, okay? Because the Lord gave, like I said, he raised Adam first, and then he gave Adam Eve, okay? So the woman, you belong to that man now, okay? You belong to him. You are his possession, whether you like it or not, okay? You know what I mean? He is supposed to rule over you, okay? Not saying that you can't have, an opinion. Of course you can have an opinion. You might be right. You know what I mean? On certain things, okay? You might be right, listen. We might need to take the side streets instead of taking 95. You might be right. But, it's a way to give your opinion, okay? And it's not being, how this society teaches Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian women to be, okay? It's not that. It's, you know what it is? It's what we just read, okay? Nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence, okay? There is a way that you are supposed to behave in the earth, okay? There's a way you're supposed to behave in your house, okay? And it's not trying to usurp authority over your husband. Okay, so let's go to the Apocrypha, okay? Let's go to the Apocrypha. We're going to go to Ecclesiasticus, chapter 36. Okay. Let's go to the Apocrypha, the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 36. Okay. And we're going to read some more about how Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian women are supposed to behave in the earth. Okay. Chapter 36 and verse 24. Okay, so listen, I'm just trying to help raise our families, you know what I mean? Get our households right, teach our sisters how they're supposed to behave, teach the brothers how they're supposed to behave, like Officer Itazab said, you know what I mean? Accountability on both ends. You know, not only does the man, the husband have, certain priorities or parameters that he has to follow, but our sisters also have, certain parameters they have to, live by. Okay. Certain ways they have to behave in the earth. Okay. Nobody wants a two-headed monster at the house. You should be nice and sweet and wonderful. You know what I mean? That's what a brother wants. That's what we need out here. I know that's what I need. Okay. Some sweetness. Okay, so let's go to the book of Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, chapter 36 and verse 24. Actually, we can start at verse 21. Okay. Ecclesiasticus chapter 36 and verse 21. A woman will receive every man, yet is one daughter better than another. The beauty of a woman cheereth cheereth the countenance, and a man loveth nothing better. Now that's just, you know what I mean? Like, this is just saying, you know what I mean? Like, after you know what I mean? A woman would choose, you know, it's almost like, it's like a woman in today, 2023, a woman gets to choose who her husband is. Okay. She gets to choose who she lay down with. But what a lot of women don't really get is that the man actually chooses today in this society. It's almost like the men choose who they will marry or who they will stay with. When according to our laws, you know, once you, like Isupk said, accountability on both ends, you both made this decision to lay down together. Now, you know what I mean? You both have to make the decision to stay together. Okay? The beauty of a woman cheereth the countenance, and a man loveth nothing better. Okay? Now, beauty can also be how you behave. It ain't just got to be that outer, you know, you ain't got to have lipstick and big eyelashes and all that. You know what I mean? Beauty is within. Okay? And trust me, if you got beauty within, a man loves nothing better than that, okay? If there be kindness, see, there you go. If there be kindness, meekness, and comfort in her tongue, then it is not her husband like other men, okay? Right? Like, if you know how to treat your husband, he's gonna treat you like no other man could ever treat you. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta have that kindness and meekness, okay? That, you know what I mean? You gotta know how to, you know, talk to your husband. You gotta know how to behave and not be, you know, don't be what this society is teaching our sisters to be. Be like with what we just read, okay? Kindness and meekness and comfort. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like, man, just came to my mind, like we read last night when the sister poured that oil on Yahushai's head. You know what I mean? She's trying to comfort the brother. And that's what we need today in our, you know, family. That's what we need today in our households, Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian households. We need, you know what I mean? Like, the black man is being beat down for the past 500 years. The sisters are too, but you know what I mean? Like, Esau has found a way to, you know, deceive our sisters and give them a little more assistance and stuff like that. But at the same time, when he gives you that assistance and stuff like that, he's requiring that you know what I mean, beat down your husband, that you treat him like you usurp authority over him, when you shouldn't do that. Take whatever it is that this society gives you and be kind and meek and comforting to your husband with it, okay? That's what, you know, our sisters need to be doing, okay? Be kind and meek to your husband, okay? Verse 24, he that getteth a wife begotteth a possession, a help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest. See, that's what I'm saying. That's wonderful. That's a wonderful household right there. And it also says, he that getteth a wife, okay, if I marry a sister, okay, and I say, okay, baby, you know what I mean? That's it. We together now. We lay down, we have sex. She's my wife now, right? Right here in the scriptures, it's saying that she is now my possession. She's mine, okay? She is my possession. Now, I'm not saying, you know what I mean, I get to now run her in the ground and do whatever I want to her and treat her however I want to treat her. No. But she is mine. Okay, she is mine. She belongs to me. Okay, and nobody else. Okay, and that's what we're trying to teach our men also, is you got to treat your women, you know what I mean, just like she treats you. That's how you got to treat her. Okay, with with comfort and kindness. Okay, be good to your wife. Okay, but here's the thing: you are my possession. And women, you sisters may not know this and may not understand it, but when a man and a woman make a commitment and lay down with one another and create a relationship, okay, and a bond by having sex, you become that man's possession. And if you leave him, if you decide that you want to, no longer, which is unlawful, but if you decide that you don't want to be with this brother and you leave him and you walk away from him, listen, we mourn that. Okay, it's almost like it's a possession. You own this thing now. It's yours. And if it's taken away from you, that's you gonna hurt that brother. Brothers hurt. We have feelings too. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? Like when men lay down with women, we become just as emotionally attached to that woman as she becomes to us. Okay. So when we lose a possession, you know what I mean? It's you never forget it. You know what I mean? You always think about this, sisters. And I think this goes for men and women. If you have, let's say you got this really nice necklace, it's gold, it's whatever, it's just something you love and you cherish, and you lose it, you're going to always remember that thing. You could have lost this thing when you was 14 years old, and here it is, you're 40 something, you still going to remember that thing. Man, I remember that, you know what I mean? It was wonderful. It was great. You know what I'm saying? That's how men feel when women, our sisters, decide to, go against their God and leave him. Okay. We remember that. It's a loss. Okay. It's a loss. And you know what I mean? Just like a loss with anything, it's going to hurt. You're always going to remember it. Okay. So we are not supposed to leave one another once we made the commitment to be together, because it's going to be a loss. It's going to be a hurt. Okay. Forever. Okay. That's how our power created us. Okay. So let's read it again. He that getteth a wife begotteth a possession, a help like unto himself, in a pillar of rest. You know what I mean? Like that pillar of rest, man, like she's a helpmeet to him. They on the same page. She's a pillar of rest. When he can't push it, she right there to help him, you know what I mean? Keep going. You know what I mean? They on the same page. They doing the same thing, same mind, you know what I mean? Okay, verse 25, where no hedge is, there the possession is spoiled, and he that have no wife will wander up and down mourning. I just said that, okay? But here's the thing, like it starts off saying where there's no hedge. Where no hedge is, that hedge is protection. If you are not allowing your husband to rule over you, okay, no matter how crucial that sounds to you, he's supposed to rule over you. If you're not allowing him to rule over you, then you don't have that hedge, that protection, because he should be you're his possession. All he wants to do is protect you. You might think, you know what I mean, he's trying to rule you, which he is, but you might think it's bad. But if he, you know, I want to go out with such and such and such and such, and we gonna go do this and go do that. He's trying to protect you by telling you, no, you can't go out with that person, because he sees, you know what I mean, some danger in that. He doesn't want you to get spoiled. Okay, he's trying to protect you by telling you can't go hang out at the strip club or whatever club and hang out with this girl and that girl and be, you know, all into all types of stuff. He's trying to protect you. Okay, where no hedge is, the possession is spoiled, and you are his possession. He's trying to protect you. He doesn't want you to get spoiled. You need to listen to your husband. Okay. And he that have no wife will wander up and down mourning. Once you are spoiled, basically this scripture is saying, once you are spoiled, okay, meaning you have decided to go and sleep with another brother, now you're spoiled, okay? Now that possession that he had, like I just explained a little while ago, now that possession that he had is no longer his, and now he's mourning it. And it tell you right here, this is opening up the emotions and heart of a man for you sisters right here in front of you. Okay, if he loses his wife, he is going to, you know, wander up and down mourning. Okay, it's not a good thing. Don't listen. I know, you know, we strong, hardcore brothers, you know what I mean? And we give that persona like, you know, we can't be hurt. Listen, we have emotions and feelings, because you know how you know? We was created after our power in his image, okay? Our God is a jealous God. Our God choose things, okay? Our God, you know, hates. We have all those emotions too. Okay, our God loves. We love too. Okay, you get a wife, trust me, man. We love our wives. We love our women. Okay, we love our sisters. And if we lose it, we're gonna wander up and down mourning. You may not see it on our face. You may not hear it in our voice, but it's a loss, and nobody wants to take a loss. Okay, how they say L. Okay. We're not trying to take no L's out here. We're trying to keep our wives, okay? We're trying to keep our households intact, okay? We trying to keep our children. And if, you know, like, but listen, I'll say it again. Not all brothers, and just like not all brothers, not all sisters are right out here. And that's what our school is about, trying to get brothers and sisters right. So I know it's hard out there, and I know, you know what I mean, you may have been wrong in the past, but if you come into this school and keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, you will never be wronged again, okay? Because we teach brothers to never leave their wives. And that's what we're trying to teach our sisters also. Never leave your husband, okay? Because that brother is going to wander up and down mourning. He's gonna feel like he lost something, okay? And that's, you know what I mean? Like, that's heavy. We have to learn to love one another again, man, in this place. We can't be causing, you know, nothing but pain and anguish among each other. Okay? Okay, so we're going to drop that one. Let's go to the book of Isaiah. We're going to go to chapter 58. The book of Isaiah, chapter 58. Isaiah chapter 58. We'll start at We'll start at verse 1. Okay. Isaiah chapter 58, verse 1. Okay. The book of Isaiah, chapter 58 and verse 1. Okay. And here's something. It's just rough especially for sisters, you know what I mean? For a brother to be able to tell her what she, is or is not supposed to be doing. And the Bible tells us we're supposed to do that as men, okay? As the leader of these households, as a righteous brother, we're supposed to tell, how else am I going to teach you what we just read about, okay? That, you know what I mean? That we should be on the same page. That how else are you going to be a pillar of rest to me if I'm not telling you what you're doing wrong and what you're doing right? You know what I mean? If you're out of order, I can't rest. I can't, you know what I mean? I'm up in arms because now my household is not in order. Okay. You should be a pillar of rest to me. I should know when I leave the house that everything is going to run exactly how I showed you. Okay. And that's, listen, Eve was supposed to be a pillar of rest to Adam. Instead, she was out here listening to other people, other families, and got this brother, you know what I mean, uneased until he finally, fall weak and, find himself sinning along with her. It seemed evil to Eve to serve her God because she wanted to do something else. Okay? And Adam gave in to it, which we ought not do, okay? Okay, so the book of Isaiah, chapter 58 and verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgressions, in the house of Jacob their sins. Okay, listen. That's the whole thing. That's what the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge is about. Showing our family, our people, the house of Jacob, their sins. And tonight, I just wanted to bring out and show my sisters that I love so much that, if you might be out of order if you're not doing all the things that we just read about, okay? And it's up to the man, it's up to the leader to tell everybody else what they're doing wrong. Tell them their transgressions, okay? Show them their transgressions. Okay, if we have a house and you know what I mean, and the house is not in order, or you know what I mean, like you cooking pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, I gotta cry aloud and tell you your transgression. You know what I mean? I have to do it. Because if I don't, then it seems evil to me to serve my God. He's telling me right here to cry aloud. Tell my people their transgression. His people is his men, women, and children. Okay. I have to cry aloud and tell my brothers and sisters their transgressions. Tell these sisters if they're out of order. Show my sisters how to be, how to conduct themselves in the earth in the year 2023. Okay. It must be done. Okay. I have to come out here and tell you how to, be a good wife, how to serve your husband, how, to be a pillar of help to him. Okay. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet. And that's, that's the natural state of Black and Hispanic and Native Indian man. We have a strong voice, okay? Like no other man in the earth, okay? And show my people their transgression, in the house of Jacob their sins. Yet they seek me daily and delight to know my ways. Okay, that's what we should be doing. We should delight in the ways of the Most High God. Okay, and as a sister, okay, the ways of the Most High God that He gave you is to be kind, have meekness and comfort. Okay, in her tongue. Okay, then is not her husband like other men. Okay, you got to be kind and meek and wonderful. I know it's hard out here. Listen, if you're kind and meek and wonderful, and he's going to be kind and wonderful to you. Okay, yeah, if you have a bad day or something, you need your husband there to give you some, good consoling words, and you know what I mean. You need him just as much as he needs you. We need to be kind to one another, okay? That's how, the Most High wants this thing to be between Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian men and women, okay? We need to be kind to one another. Okay? We need wonderful, virtuous women. So we're going to read about that. Wonderful, virtuous women in the book of Proverbs, okay? Let's go to the book of Proverbs. Book of Proverbs, chapter 31 and verse 10. Okay. I'm not here to beat up, my sisters, but I am here to help you try to be the wonderful, sweet, kind, meek woman that you should be. Okay. That's what I'm here for. To help Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians have healthy households. Okay. Book of Proverbs, chapter 31. Okay. We can start at, let's start at verse 6. All right, we can start at verse 1. I'll just go through verse 1 down to verse 10, okay? And all we're talking about is, wonderful, meek, kind women, okay? That's what I'm trying to bring out tonight, how a woman is supposed to be according to the scriptures, how a sister, Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, is supposed to live in the earth and be towards her husband, okay? So we're going to start at Proverbs chapter 31. We'll start at verse 1 and just go through down to verse 10, okay? Verse 1, the words of the king Lamal, the prophecy that his mouth taught him, what, my son, and what the son of my womb, and what the son of my vows. Give not thy strength unto woman, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. A woman can destroy a king, you know what I mean, if she is out of order, just like we read earlier. It took the other men around that king to tell him that his woman was out of order. And not only did she just was, coming up against him and doing wrong to him, but she was doing wrong to everybody in the provinces, everybody who saw how she was behaving, just like our sisters today. If you're out of order, you're not only doing wrong to your husband, you're doing wrong to every other sister that is watching you, okay? Especially if they look up to you, okay? Verse 4, it is not for kings, O Lamar, that it is not for kings to drink wine, nor for princes strong drink, lest thy drink and forget the law, and pervert the judgment of any of the afflicted, okay? So this talking about brothers, okay? You can't be, forgetting these laws, statutes, and commandments, okay? Give strong drink unto him that is ready to perish, and wine unto those that be of heavy hearts, okay? Let him drink and forget his poverty, and remember his misery no more. Sometimes a brother need a strong drink, you know what I mean? In this hell that we're in 2023 and been in for the past 500 years now, you know what I mean? Sometimes a brother just need, a strong drink just to relax and, ease his mind with everything, how this society come against Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, man. We might need just, a little drink here and there to, ease your thoughts. You know what I mean? Okay, let him drink and forget his poverty and remember his misery no more. Now, don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? It's not saying that, that the problem is going to go away. It's just saying, you know what I mean? You're just going to take it easy for a little while. You know what I mean? And kick back and relax. Have, you know what I mean? That's wonderful, sweet, meek woman, pour you a drink, fix you a plate. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Turn the radio on so you can relax. You know what I'm saying? Verse 8, open thy mouth for the dumb and the cause of all such as are appointed to destruction. Open thy mouth, judge righteously, and plead the cause of the poor and needy. Okay, that's definitely what we do here in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. You know what I'm saying? We are the mouthpiece for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians who are the poor and needy, okay, in the earth today. Okay, verse 10, who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. That's, you know what I mean? Like at the beginning, he was saying, don't give, your strength to a woman. You know what I mean? Not an unrighteous woman, but right here it's saying, who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. You know what I mean? For a brother, there is no better thing in the earth than, you know what I mean, a wonderful, meek, you know what I mean, woman. Okay, kind and meek and virtuous woman. There's nothing better than that for a Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian man. You know what I mean? Be that pillar of help. You know what I mean? We need that for each other. The sisters need it when they come home, because they gotta, in this society, you know what I mean? We all slaves. The sisters got to go out and slave. The brothers got to go out and slave. You know what I mean? And we got to be there for one another. Okay? And that brother go out and he's slaving or whatever. When he come home, you should be that wonderful, sweet, meek woman that he needs. Okay? That pillar of help. Pour him a strong drink when he needed. Have some food ready. And vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the brother might have to throw down in the kitchen and, you know what I mean, have a meal waiting for his rib. You know, she come home. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta do this. We gotta love one another. You know what I'm saying? We have to be, you know, we gotta be a support help for, you know what I mean, each other. We got to be that pillar of help for one another, okay? But, you know, the man has to lead, okay? That's the way the Most High set it up. The woman can't lead the house. That's not how God set it up, okay? That's not how he laid things out. Okay, that's not how he laid it out. Eve was supposed to be a helpmeet to Adam, okay? And that's still the way it should be today in 2023, okay? She should be a helpmeet and a pillar of rest. That's what sisters need to be to their husbands, okay? Shalom, warrior.
Shalom. Yahweh Shem Yahweh.
Yahweh Shem Yahweh. It's good to have you in the class.
Appreciate
okay?
it. Water.
The water to you. So yeah, I'm just trying to bring out some scriptures, trying to help sisters tonight. You know, I figured I'd touch on a couple of scriptures and, you know, show Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian women how they should be in the earth today. Okay?
Yes, sir.
That's what we need. You know what I mean? I've been bringing it out all night. You know, we need our sisters to be a pillar of rest to our brothers and her husband. She should be a pillar of rest. Okay? That's what we need. You know what I mean? And like I said, vice versa. We have to be, you know, we have to love our wives. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
We have to know how to treat our wives, and our wives need to know how to treat us. And guess what? It's laid out in the Bible. These records, these laws, these statutes are written for our learning to show Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians how to live in the earth. Okay? So there's order that's supposed to be in the earth. Okay? And we can read about it in the book of 1 Corinthians. Okay? Let's go to 1 Corinthians.
1 Corinthians. 1 Corinthians, sir. What verse?
1 Corinthians chapter 11.
11?
Mm-hmm.
Got it. We started. 1.
Hold on, let me get there. Okay. These scriptures were written for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to have an understanding on how to live in the earth, how to treat one another, how to love one another. Okay, that's what we need. We need more love. Negroes need love in the earth today. Okay? Women and men, we both need love. We need to know how to treat each other. We need to know how to, you know what I mean, be there for one another. We need to know how our houses are supposed to function and operate. And if we don't have order, it's not going to operate correctly. It's going to be contentment in the house. Okay. And you know, we need to have more wonderful houses like the young man right here. I see you got the little baby in the background playing. You know, that's the wonderful thing. You know, that is wonderful. You know, you got the children happy. You know, the husband happy, the wife happy. We need more. Hey, shalom, little sis. Okay.
Shalom.
Shalom. All right. You know, that's what it's all about. You know, that is wonderful. You know, and we need that. But at the same time, there has to be order, or the house is not going to function properly. Okay. If the wife is trying to usurp authority over her husband, the house is not going to function properly. Okay. And yeah, you can start at verse 1. We'll go down, get to it.
Okay. Donald Khan. 1 Corinthians 11, verse 1. Be ye follower of me, even as also I'm of Christ.
Right. Like this brother, you know, Paul saying, listen, follow me. You know, listen to what I'm telling you. Just like, you know, I followed Christ. Okay. I'm doing what Christ said, and I'm trying to, just like what we're doing in the school today. Okay. You got Commanding General Yohana. You got the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers. Okay. The sisters. And we are telling Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to follow Christ. We're breaking the scriptures down for you, showing you how you're supposed to live in the earth, what you're supposed to be doing. And that's what Paul is saying here. Be ye followers of me. Okay. Even as I also am of Christ. You know, I'm following Christ, what he laid down. Yahushua in the Hebrew came and he broke these scriptures down. You know what I mean? He you know what I mean? Christ even said it. You know, he came to fulfill the law. Okay. What does that mean? He came to do the law. Most people, they try to teach you him fulfilling the law was him, you know, dying on the cross. There was no law saying he had to die on the cross. You know what I mean? The laws, statutes, and commandments are how you're supposed to live in the earth today. What you are and are not supposed to do according to your power that you made an agreement with, that who you went into a covenant with as a family. Okay, and part of that covenant is how the rank and order in the earth. Okay, and we're going to read about it. So keep reading.
Khan. 1 Corinthians 11, verse 2. Now I praise you, brethren, that ye remember me in all things, and keep the ordinances as I delivered them to you.
Right. Paul is saying, keep these laws, statutes, and commandments just like I taught you. Don't veer from it. Don't go away from what I'm teaching you. Don't try to, you know what I mean, change up these laws. Keep them just like I'm teaching you. Don't be in the earth in 2022 saying, you know, pork is the other white meat. You don't have to go to the Passover. Keep these laws and these statutes just like I'm teaching you. Okay, keep reading.
Verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
Right. That's Paul he's breaking down. He's about to break down the order of the earth for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. How your household should run. How our nation should run. Okay. And it starts in the house. Keep going.
And the head of the woman is the man.
Right. You are her head. Okay. Now, like I brought out earlier, that doesn't mean she can't have an opinion. That doesn't mean she doesn't have, you know what I mean, thoughts. That doesn't mean she doesn't, you know, she can have, you know what I mean, she could be right, you know what I mean, on some things. Like I brought out earlier, you know, you going on a trip or something, and she might be like, no, we need to take the interstate and not the side streets. You know what I mean? But, you know, that's just small, you know what I mean? Like, you could be like, damn, baby, why you think that? And she'd be like, well, I Googled it, and I did this, and I did that. Oh, shit, that's wonderful. Okay, you know, I can deal with that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But you get to make the decision. The man gets to make the decision. She can give her opinion, but you get to make the decision. But guess what comes along with you making that decision? You are the one who makes the decision. So now if it's wrong, you have to take the blame. It falls on you because you're the head. Okay? So if you decide to listen to her, just like Adam did, the Lord still, you know what I mean? Adam still was wrong. Just because he listened to Eve, she was wrong. Now he takes the blame. Okay.
God.
Now he has to toil the earth. Okay. So at the same time, when we're teaching our sisters how to be in submission to her husband, you as a husband have to, you know what I mean? You got to be right. You got to be in submission with Christ. Just like Paul just said, okay? Be ye followers of me, even as I also am of Christ. Now, if you are a brother and you're the head of your house should run the way Christ laid it out. Okay? We read it earlier. I don't know if you was watching the class. We read it earlier in the book of Joshua. Okay? Mm-hmm. Where it said, you know, choose ye this day who you will serve. But for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Okay? So it's listen, you want that sister to be submissive to you and wonderful and meek, well, you need to be, you know what I mean, submissive to Christ, submissive to the Most High. Okay, and keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. Okay?
Lucky, sir.
Go ahead.
And if I may, sir, and I mean, if you have a woman of wisdom also, she'll know that when you're in line with Christ, you know, she will follow suit, you know.
Right. But, you know, listen, it's the spirit that, you know what I mean? It's the spirit. If she has a spirit that, you know, she is easily, you know, she wants to follow her husband, then yeah, you can call that a woman of wisdom. But where does the wisdom come from? You have to teach her. Okay, now is her spirit gonna be she's not gonna listen to you, or is her spirit gonna be she's gonna listen to her husband and follow him? Okay, so that's what we're talking about. Like, you have to have a righteous spirit yourself, and she will follow suit. And if not, then you know what I mean. You know, you have to let her go. You have to be ready to lose, you know what I mean, that woman if she wants to not follow you, because you have to keep following Christ. Just like Paul just said, be ye followers of me, even as I also am of Christ. Okay, so you have to also follow something. You have to have wisdom. And where does the wisdom come from? You're on mute.
Oh, Slakia, keeping the commandments, sir?
Yes, learning these laws, statutes, and commandments. That's wisdom. Okay, the scripture said these laws, statutes, and commandments is the wisdom in the sight of the nations. Okay, you following these laws, statutes, and commandments, everybody's going to look at you and say, that brother is wise. That brother has wisdom. And guess what? All it is you following Christ. You following the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments. Now you look wonderful and wise. And you're right. A wise woman would follow you. Okay. She would follow suit and keep these laws, statutes, commandments, just like you teach it. Okay. Keep reading. Go ahead.
Slovakia, sir.
Mm-hmm.
1 Corinthians 11:3. From the top. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is God.
Right. That is how God laid out the earth for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Christ followed every law that God laid out for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And now the man is to follow suit, and she is to follow you. Okay. That is the ranking order in the earth. Okay.
Verse 4.
Uh-huh.
Every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonoreth his head.
Right. Basically, that's saying, you know what I mean? If she's not following the law, statutes, and commandments, she is dishonoring you. Okay? She's dishonoring you. You are her head. Okay?
God.
She needs to keep these. She's not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. She's dishonoring you. Okay? So let's drop that one. Okay? Let's go to. I'm not sure. Did I do that? Let's see. Hold on. Okay. Let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 26.
Ecclesiastes 7, verse 26, sir.
Hold on, let me get there. Go ahead and start at verse 26.
Ecclesiastes 7, verse 26. And I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands as bands. Whoso pleaseth the power shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her.
Right. This is, you know what I mean, that two-headed dragon, okay, that doesn't want to, you know what I mean, listen to a man who wants to usurp authority over a man, okay, who wants to put a brother on child support, okay. That's what this is about, okay. And Solomon saying he found, I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, okay. This is like death, and you know what I mean. Like this is that death that we get from not following the law, statutes, and commandments. If you are not following the law, statutes, and commandments as a man yourself, then it said that you will be taken by this type of woman. You will be the one that get, you know, the woman who, you know, doesn't want to listen to her husband. Okay. But the man who does keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, he will escape her. Even if it's, you got this type of woman and she, you know, doesn't want to submit to you, and you come into the truth and start keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, the Lord is going to cause her to stop, you know, to lead so you don't have to deal with that no more. Okay, you will escape that. Okay, because she is out of order. Okay. Okay, verse 26, and I find more bitter than death, the woman whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands is bands. Whosoever pleaseth God shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her. Okay, that's plain and simple. You know what I'm saying? You keeping these law, statutes, and commandments. You come into this school. You know what I mean? And you're gonna find a righteous woman. That's what we're raising, and that's why I brought this out tonight to teach sisters how to be in the earth, how to be a righteous woman. You know what I'm saying? So brothers and sisters can have a righteous household. So brothers can have a righteous woman and don't have to deal with, you know what I mean, the type of women that this society has taught our sisters to be. Okay, keep reading.
Ecclesiastes 7, verse 27, Slakia. Behold, this I have found, saith the preachers, counting one by one to find out the accounts. 28. Which yet my soul seeketh, but I find not. One man among 1,000 have I found, but a woman among all those have I not found.
Right. So this is
nice.
This is heavy. You know what I mean? This is heavy. Like, because the woman is so easily manipulated. I read a scripture earlier where it said, where there is no hedge, there is no protection. Okay. And these women out here that are falling for what this society is teaching, that you don't need a husband and all these other things, okay, they're not going to follow these laws, statutes, and commandments. Okay, and that's what Solomon is saying. He seeked it out, you know, and like, behold, this I have found, said the preacher, counting one by one to find out the account, which yet my soul seeketh, but I find not. One man among 1,000 have I found. And if you look at this school, look at the whole earth. You know what I mean? And listen, all blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are not in this school. And that's just like what Paul is saying. Out of 1,000 men, he only found one that was willing to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments and serve our power and follow Paul and Christ, you know what I'm saying? And be that's exactly what our power intended us to be. That's why he only our power said he's looking for 144,000 men from each tribe. That's like you know what I mean? That ain't even, that's less than 1,000, 1 out of 1,000. But you know what I mean? Like, everybody is not meant to run or be over God's chosen people. All blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian men are not meant to be over God's chosen people and teach them these laws, statutes, and commandments. Okay? That's why it's so few brothers in this school. And then on top of that, not only is there only so many brothers, the sisters are much less. Okay? Read it from the top. Verse 27.
Ecclesiastes 7:27. Behold, this I have found, saith the preacher, counting one by one to find out the account, which yet my soul seeketh, but I find not. One man among thousands have I found, but a woman among all those have I not found.
Right. Now he can't even, there is no, you know what I'm saying? 1 out of 1,000 men, but you know, no sisters at all. Okay. That's why it's so important for the man to be righteous and the head of the house. Because that's the only way this sister's gonna get it. Okay. They're not gonna get it on their own. Okay. It takes you as a righteous brother to lead her. Okay, and that's part of having a righteous household. You have to teach her. You have to show her. You have to have compassion with her. You have to have be patient. Okay, because she's not going to get it as quick as you will. You know what I mean? You heard this thing and you came running. It's gonna take a little bit longer for her. But if you're not teaching her and showing her, then she's definitely not going to get it. Okay? So as brothers, we have to be, that strong pillar for these sisters. And through, good and bad, you got to stay strong and keep these laws, statutes, and commandments and show them, what a righteous man looks like. And that way you can have a healthy household. You stick to these laws, statutes, and commandments. You stay in this school, and your house will get right. Our whole family, our whole nation will get right. But it takes the men to lead the women. Okay, these sisters have to be submissive to her husband, not usurping authority. She has to learn from you. Okay, that's the only way she's going to learn, from you. So I wanted to bring it out and show the sisters today how to be, but also at the same time, it's up to the men, it's up to these brothers to, show our sisters how they're supposed to be in the earth. Okay?
And
Go ahead.
Sir, if I may, to touch back on usurp authority by the woman with Juanita Bynum and like that devil George Myers being over a church.
Mm-hmm.
Would that consider using usurp authority also? Of
course. That is definitely, we can read that, okay? We can go back to 1 Corinthians. Okay? I think we read it earlier, but we can read it again.
Yep, I missed it, sir.
Go ahead. 1 Corinthians chapter 14. So I can. 1 Corinthians chapter 14.
What verse?
34.
34. Donald Khan. 1 Corinthians 14:34. Let your women keep silence in the churches, for it is not permitted unto them to speak, but they are commanded to be under obedience, as also saith the law.
Right. So back in Christ's time, when these when the New Testament was brought out, right? The church was not in a building. Okay, the church was, and the church still is a group of men teaching God's law, statutes, and commandments. Okay, you're out on the corner and you're teaching, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And we see it so often, women will come up and start yelling and putting their 2 cents in and saying what they believe and what they think, and it has nothing to do with this Bible. It's all about their emotions and what they feel. And it's because at the end of the day, we are destroyed as a family. She doesn't have a husband at home. She's a single black mother who thinks she doesn't need a husband and think, whatever she says is what it should be. And if it ain't that, then, it's nothing. And now it's gotten to the point where they are in a building somewhere trying to teach men about God's law, statutes, and commandments. And if you read God's laws right here, it's telling you, let your woman keep silent in the churches. This is where men teach God's laws, statutes, and commandments. For it is not permitted, okay? It is not permitted unto them to speak when it comes to teaching God's laws, statutes, and commandments. it is not permitted for them to speak. Now, it's not saying that she can't have a question. Okay. She might not have a husband at home and she may have a question. Okay. So she can ask the question, but it's not permitted for her to speak when it comes to the teaching, okay, of God's law, statutes, and commandments. Okay. But they are commanded to be under obedience, as also saith the law. Okay. This is what the law says, that, you know what I mean? That she cannot teach, okay, according to the Bible. She is not supposed to teach God's law, statutes, and commandments. When it comes to the church, okay, now she can teach them at home to her children, okay, right? She can teach them at home to her children. She can even teach another sister, okay? She can, you know, even try to, you know, guide a brother into the truth. But when it comes to breaking down these scriptures and teaching the law, statutes, and commandments, like we read a little while ago, okay, the order is that, you know, it's the Most High, Christ, then the man, then the woman, okay? That's it. The men teach these law, statutes, and commandments, okay? And it tells you right here, she is, what did it say? Let your woman keep silent in the churches, okay?
God.
Let's go to back to 1 Timothy, okay? Chapter 2 and verse 11.
1 Timothy 2, verse 11.
Right.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Let the woman learn in silence, with all subjection.
That's how she's supposed to learn. Okay, keep going.
12. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence.
This is in Christ's time. Okay. And these brothers are teaching what Christ taught. Okay. Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. Okay. She is supposed to subject herself to her husband. If she don't have a husband, then she is supposed to subject herself to, the priest, okay, who's teaching these laws, statutes, and commandments. Okay. But I suffer not a woman to teach. Again, she can't teach these laws, statutes, and commandments, to God's chosen people. When it comes to trying to that's why only men go to camp. You don't see women out there at camp trying to teach and break down scriptures. You don't see women running classes, like we're doing right now, because we go by these laws, statutes, and commandments. We do exactly what we read a little while ago when Paul said, follow me as I follow Christ. Think about when Christ was out teaching. He didn't have, who was his 12 disciples?
If I may, sir, brothers.
Men. There was no women out. Paul did not, it's like Christ did not he did not order any sister to go out and teach, the Gentiles. He did not give the order for women to go out and teach. It was only men, because that's what Christ taught. And Paul, Peter, Tim, all these brothers came back and said, listen, do it just like I'm teaching you, because I'm showing you I'm doing it just like Christ did it. Okay? And that's the whole thing. Women shouldn't be out here trying to teach, like you said, Bynum lady or they should not be trying to teach law, statutes, and commandments. Okay, they cannot break down the Bible. Okay, that's not their job. We just read it. Okay,
God.
But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. That's what is required of our sisters. Okay. That's what they're supposed to be doing. Okay?
Khan Khan, sir.
You got anything else? Any other questions?
Just that mean suffer not mean not permit, not allow.
Yes.
Nada.
Right. Okay. So suffer mean right. I'm not gonna put up with it. I'm not allowing it.
Okay.
Like you might suffer. Let's say you might suffer your wife not cleaning the house every day. You say, I'll suffer that. You can clean it every other day. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Suffering, yeah, is what you will not allow. Like now, I tell you something you should suffer. That is your wife, okay? And you should suffer every demon that she has, every affliction that she has, every problem or issue that she has. You should suffer that. You should go through it with her. You know what I mean? And fight it with her and be, that strong thing, that strong pillar that she needs. You should be that head that she needs. Okay? You should suffer that. Teach her. Guide her. Okay? No matter how hard it gets, no matter, what it is, you should suffer that. Okay? Because that's what, we need more of in this earth. Black men suffering the black woman and vice versa. She should suffer everything, you know what I mean? And we all have little issues, little, quirks about ourselves. You know what I mean? She might not like that you watch TV all night while she's trying to sleep. She got to suffer. You know what I'm saying? We got to suffer each other. We got to put up with one another. Okay? And that's how we're going to, raise righteous brothers and sisters under us. Them little brothers and sisters, our children, you know what I mean? You show compassion to your wife and vice versa. And them children will see that. And that's how they will be when they grow up and have relationships and get into marriages, okay? We will learn to suffer one another and love one another, okay? And put up with our differences. We can't walk away from each other. We got to suffer it, okay?
Sir.
All right. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and end the class. We read up on the time, the water for coming in, okay?
No sweat.
Most High in Christ. So Friday, we'll be back in the building. Officer Aitazar will be teaching the Lashawan Kodash class, the Hebrew class, okay? The Holy Tongue, okay? And also, we have the Passover coming up, okay? April 1st, Raleigh, North Carolina. So make your provisions, get your affairs in order so you can be at the Lord's Passover, okay? So with that, I'm going to salute the brothers and sisters out, and we'll go ahead and end the class. To the brothers, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua Barakathum. To the sisters, Yahweh Shemal Alathan Bashem Yahushai. Okay. To the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohana, not affiliated with any other Hebrew Israelite group. And shalom.
Shalom.
Most High in Christ.